1,000 displaced currently. People whose existence is illegal because they have no place to go. No matter where they go, they're told to go elsewhere. You will spend 10 times as much money per year to make sure these people stay displaced, so you can blame them for everything, so that you have, as a ruling class, a people that you can take advantage of when you do something wrong. People that you can blame it on when you do something wrong. We're talking about over 14,000. My apologies. 14,000 people dead this year alone. Killed in such horribly inhumane ways. People being dismembered. There's a lot of those who are children too. Many of them. Am I talking about Palestine and Israel? Oh, hell no, I'm talking about the United States. 81% of those incarcerated currently were homeless when they were arrested. The courts have shown outright that they don't care about the homeless. The homeless are not human beings, they are profit. I'm not talking biblical profit. I'm talking about financial profit. $600 people in the United States without electricity. Oh, there's more than that right now, isn't there? There's about 4.5 million nationwide without electricity. That's a lot more than the Gaza Strip, isn't it? Meanwhile, these people are all expected to contribute, and many of them do. But still, no matter what, it's not good enough. It's not enough. It's never enough. You want more, 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 more. You tell them that if they weren't criminals, then they'd be able to get unhomeless. But then again, homelessness is what's criminal. When I was in Los Angeles, California on Skid Row, I got to see a lot of really messed up stuff. I also had people coming up and telling me they found a child molester, caught him in the act, so they cut him up and stuffed him in the storm drain. Yeah, welcome to America, folks. The reality of the America that I live in. Men have no rights here unless they have money and looks. If you have fame, people will care. Of course, that depends on how you look. If you're a heartthrob like Johnny Depp, you can do whatever you want. The women in this country will support you. Danny DeVito? No. The women of this country would say he looks like a pervert. He looks like a chimo. He looks like a rapist. He must be guilty. 80% of men in this country are considered ugly by women. Not mildly unattractive, not quasi-attractive, just straight up ugly. Why do you look rapey? Because you're ugly. Oh, ugly guys must have to rape people to get laid. Everything in an ugly man's life is revolving around raping people. You saying that 80% of men are rapists because of how they look? This country is fucking gross. That way of thinking is fucking disgusting. And then women ganging up and stalking men as a group because one of them didn't get what she fucking wanted right when she fucking wanted it. Look what that turned into with me. I don't know what the fuck Natalie and Alicia were fucking thinking. I don't know what the fuck Maddie Boa was fucking thinking. Any intelligent person would have just left me the fuck alone. Maddie Boa harmed me because of lies from other people. And then Maddie Boa went and spread her own goddamn lies. I am 100% for assisted termination of life. Even the Bible and the history of Israel both support assisted termination of life. Look at Jesus' untimely end and what it took to make that actually happen. Repeatedly, Jesus could have gotten off the hook and didn't even try. Jesus was also afraid. He knew what he had to do, and he did it. He didn't become a martyr the way that these Hamas martyrs did it, did he? He didn't become a martyr by murdering innocent Israelis, did he? Hamas fucked up, but the United States fucked up more. The United States is the largest human trafficker on the planet. And the majority of those we human traffic are our own people. Through the jails, through the prisons, through therapy. That's right. The mandated reporters that were sent to as homeless people, they automatically give us the mentally ill tag, mentally ill stamp, mentally ill treatment, because that's what makes them money. It doesn't help us in the fucking least bit. It doesn't help out Jamie and the Dalles. It doesn't get her a safe place where she's not abused, where she's not assaulted, where she's not raped repeatedly. How about those prostitutes in Tacoma that are on my channel? Or the homeless addicts up there? Many of y'all, you want to talk trash about the addicts out here. And some of y'all want to tell me, oh, well, you should have some more compassion for the addicts. They're addicts. They can't help themselves. Well, I'm going to tell you something. When I'm out here talking about the addicts, I'm talking about how it actually is. And while you're telling me what I should be doing, you're not doing that. You want to tell me about having compassion for these drug addicts? If they need a blanket, they get it. If they need to know where the resources are, I'll tell them or show them or give it to them myself or bring it back to them. Well, their families say, oh, well, my brother is a drug addict. He chooses to be homeless, and I don't like your attitude about them. I don't like your attitude about addicts. No, fuck you. You won't allow them in your fucking house. You say that they chose to be out here. You won't let them in your house because they will victimize you, their own family. And you tell me, out here being victimized by them, where I can't get away from them. There is nowhere for me to move on to. Instead of doing the right thing, the United States government and its people chose to be, what? Criminals. You are all criminal towards the homeless. You pretend that we're all child molesters and rapists. And then you drop off your child molesters and rapists in our midst. It's disgusting. 96% of those killed by police in the United States are men. 96%, almost 97%. The homeless are killed at a rate of 2 to 1 over people in houses, yet the homeless account for 0.18% of our population. 0.18%. That's only because about 11 million people overall are incarcerated. And 81% of those were homeless when they were arrested. That means that they were railroaded. That means that they never stood a chance. That means that you're spending over $100,000 a year to house an innocent person. Then, of course, you don't care about the fact that these people's rights have been violated and they've been denied every service because business owners who have money don't want to see them. So the services, humane services, are deprived of American citizens. I can't even count the number of people that I know that died of homelessness. Men live an average of 20 years less than women. Because women are stressful. They stress the fuck out of us. They make our lives living hell. How dare I be born less than 6 feet tall? How dare I be born without a 12-inch dick? How dare I go bald? What a horrible person I am, huh? How dare I get older? How dare I get wrinkled? How dare I? Y'all don't remember who I used to be because I'm not pretty anymore. I don't matter. Then again, I never was pretty, was I? Most of the drug addicts that I knew in Boulder, Colorado that were homeless didn't start off when they were homeless. They didn't start off being on drugs or alcohol. They started off being abused into homelessness. A lot of guys out on the streets will explain to you that it's tough being married to a woman whose family controls her entire life and they hate you. You say that they chose to be homeless. No, they chose to flee abuse. That's all a man is allowed to do. If we go to the cops when we're abused, the cops will arrest us. They'll make up excuses to arrest us. When it comes to domestic violence, men are more likely to be the victims than women by a lot. Domestic violence from women happens against men at a 30-to-1 rate. Women are less likely to do damage to a man. Right? So that makes it okay. It's okay for a 5'8" woman to throw metal objects at a man who told her no because he's 6 foot tall? No. It's still not okay. That hits him in the head, he dies. Does she give a shit? No, she's too busy throwing a fucking tantrum like a 5-year-old because we have taught women to act this way. Act like petulant children and then blame your victims when you get busted. Make false allegations, anything that will prevent people from listening to your victim. Oh, he's mentally ill. Americans are refugees in their own fucking country. There is no refugee camp for us. We're being sent to places where we are abused and killed. All of the law enforcement in the Dalles, Oregon, sends homeless people to this church parking lot. And then they come by and harass people at the church parking lot. And then they complain to the church about those people being there. And the locals complain about those people being there. Then the cops want to fine that church for the way it's being run, for the neighbors that are complaining, over the fact that none of those services are doing their jobs for the homeless. They're pawning them off on a church parking lot. Meanwhile, for somebody like Jamie, yeah, she may get beaten up on that parking lot every day. She may be assaulted every day there, but she's not being raped there. No, that happens when they kick her off the property. And these predators follow her to where she goes to sleep. And they just don't let her. The rapes against homeless men and women in the United States happen far more than all other sex crimes in the United States, except for them nasty-ass goddamn child molesters. Of course, you're the American people. You don't fucking care. You'll elect them people to Congress. You call your victim mentally ill, and all of a sudden there are no rights. They're not a human being anymore unless they have a friend or family member who cares. And Americans don't care about anybody but themselves. Sure, they might throw a few dollars your way here and there because they feel bad. It's their conscience hurting them in most cases. In some cases, it's genuine decency out of another human being or a life's lesson for their children. One man gave his daughter $1 to come give me. He speaks really good English, by the way. He gave his daughter $1, and she brought it over to me when I was panhandling. This is a while ago. Quite a while ago. Later on, I saw him again. He was explaining to me that he's one that gave his daughter $1 and had her come across the street by herself. He made sure she looked both ways. Had her come across the street by herself and give me $1. And apparently, from what he was saying, he told his daughter, you know what? If it wasn't for these people, we'd be living like that. If it wasn't for people being good to us and taking us in, we would live like that. So we need to be grateful that we're not living like that. That's right. He was telling his daughter, it could be worse. You could be him. Men are taught that if they're not providing, then they're useless. They're a waste of space. When women don't provide a goddamn thing, we're still expected to feel sorry for them and to cater to them and to give up our entire lives for them. I don't do what I do for women. I do it for children. I do it for the homeless. I do it for the victims, the most likely victims. And that is always men and children. The only thing that women have ever been able to stand on in my lifetime, ever, is sexual assault. And as we have come to realize recently, women are far more likely to sexually assault you. Boys are taught differently and girls are taught differently. That sexual assault against a male is not sexual assault. Because he has a penis, he must want it. I've been harmed by a lot of men in the United States because they want to pretend that I must be some horrible monster because I have a penis. Do they not realize they have penises too? You want to do that shit to me, but you don't want it happening to you, do you? All of my rights as a human being have been violated repeatedly. As an American, in America, this so-called great nation, greatest nation on earth is trash. This whole country is trash. The people who inhabit it are trash. When it's a male who is coming to you because there is a major issue. When it's a male coming to you for help, chances are pretty good that he needs help. Now, according to the numbers coming from Facebook and TikTok and Twitter, depending on which platform it is, between 80 and 90% of all allegations against men are false. That's because many of these women brag on their Facebook. Brag about the fact that it's not true. Or, of course, they want to type with others in Messenger. A lot of these women, they want to do the right thing at the very beginning, but then their friends are like, you know, you got a much better chance of winning if you say he molested your kids or he beat on you. They'll listen to you, they won't listen to him. We've taught women in this country that men shouldn't be allowed to speak. If a man is speaking, he's mansplaining and he should just shut up. But then you expect the perks out of us anyway. You expect the fruits of our labors. When we can't provide you with free shit anymore, you treat us like we're fucking useless. Meanwhile, all you do is fucking take from us. Take. No matter how much you take, it's not good enough. You cannot satisfy a woman. None of you can. We've taught them to never be satisfied. We've also taught them that regardless of truth, their emotions are more important. That's right. It doesn't matter that the only thing wrong with the dude is that his genetics make him unattractive to you. But emotionally, because he's unattractive, he must be a rapist emotionally. Go fuck yourselves. Fuck this whole goddamn country. Throwing somebody a couple of bucks and pretending like that's going to fix their problem. And then being an asshole to them later on when your couple of bucks didn't fix their problem. When your couple of bucks didn't stop any of their fucking predators. Didn't do a goddamn thing to get those predators turned in. When you make a homeless male go in alone to turn in any crimes against him, you're setting him up to be victimized. Anybody who thinks the cops are good people has not spent any time actually homeless. Especially as a man. As a homeless man, all you want to do when you've got a car, you want to pull over and get a fucking good night's rest, please. Even when we have permission of business owners, police officers will do bullshit like they did in Cheyenne, Wyoming to me. They didn't try to understand a goddamn thing about the situation. They just wanted to harass someone. They just wanted to bully someone. They just wanted to feel powerful. Meanwhile, hospitals, yeah, I get that they have to deal with a lot of junkies. Junkies in houses and on the streets. But that doesn't make it okay to be a piece of shit to every homeless man that comes in and treat them like they're fucking junkies. Talk down to them, belittle them. The American people themselves are shitty to the fucking homeless. BLM is shitty to the homeless. Even black homeless people. The KKK is shitty to the homeless. Even white homeless people. We've got a lot of Jewish charities here that will only help out Jews. We got a lot of money donated for women's domestic violence. When it comes to domestic violence against men, these women's services only help us because by law they have to at least pretend to. But what do they do instead? They repeatedly try to talk us out of turning in our predators. They try to force us to jump through a bunch of expensive and time-consuming hoops that only allow our predators to get away. None of them help to gather evidence. None of them will look at evidence or help turn evidence in. None of them will allow me a place to sit down and write the things that they're expecting me to write. And they're sending me to places that it is inappropriate to send me to do these things. They're going out of their way to do things as illegal as possible. And they have an expectation of getting away with it because they believe that I won't record them. Well, I record everything, you fucking pieces of goddamn shit. There's just too much of it to go through. And there wouldn't have been if I hadn't been targeted by fucking junkies in 2016 for being a good person. Fuck this goddamn country. If it goes to war with Russia, I will destroy American infrastructure. Guaranteed. You are disgusting animals. The things that you have done to your own people are worse than what Hamas did to Israel. And you target men because it's socially acceptable. You target the homeless because it's socially acceptable. All the propaganda against men and the homeless and the mentally ill, all three of those are death sentences in the United States. Every woman in the United States deserves to be on her own with no help or assistance from men until they fucking get it through their thick fucking skulls that we are human too. God damn it.